Hello and welcome guys to this video. So in this video I'm just going to explain you about the basics of performance diagnosis and how can we approach any performance issue with the tools or the inbuilt tools provided by Oracle. Okay, so I'll be explaining the tools like AWR, ASH and ADDM. Okay, so let us just see these three tools. Okay, so when it comes to investigating or diagnosing any performance issue, first we need to collect the metrics or any diagnostics that is required for troubleshooting the issue. Okay, so without any diagnostic data, it is really difficult to understand what is the cause of the issue, right? So first we need to identify the symptoms of the issue, right? And then identify the cause of the issue. Then based on the cause, we can focus on many solutions. Okay, so symptoms of the issue means we need to label the issue, right? So based on certain behaviors, right? So how much time the issue happened and whether a single user was affected or multiple users were affected, and if there are any VORA errors that are occurring, whether the issue is a slowness or hang. So there are multiple symptoms of the issue. Okay, so based on the symptoms we can correlate all the dots and then we will check the cause of the issue, right? So without the cause we will not be able to provide any solution, right? We can try any trial and error method based on our assumption, but still without knowing the exact root cause, it is difficult to troubleshoot any issue. Okay, so we call these three tools as the pillars of performance diagnosis. Okay, and AWR, ASH and ADDM gives us a lot of valuable information when it comes to focusing on the database performance. Okay, this will not give any details related to SQL diagnostics. Okay, which means the execution plan details and all will not be given by AWR, ASH. This is overall instance level. Okay, and also we need to understand what is AWR, right? So AWR is Automatic Workload Repository. So it is abbreviated. Okay, so it is kind of a repository which stores all the information or metrics related to all the all the metrics in the database in the form of snapshots. Okay, we take snapshots in a particular interval. Okay, and we enable these snapshots on the database. So every production database should be having these snapshots. Without these snapshots, performance data or AWR snapshots will not be collected. Okay, so based on the snapshot information we can generate the report. Okay, so ASH stands for Active Session History. So I will explain all these reports. And ADDM stands for Automatic Diagnostic Destination Monitor. Okay, so these are just abbreviations. So let us now understand what these reports are and when these reports are used and why we need to generate these reports. Okay, so AWR collects the snapshot. Okay, so if we set the interval of either 30 minutes or 60 minutes, so we can set any interval depending on our requirement. Okay, based on that, snapshots will be collected on the database and it will be stored in the sysaux table space. Okay, so every so if we enable snapshot for 30 minutes interval, every 30 minutes snapshots are collected. So for 1 hour there will be 2 snapshots, something like this, right? So if the database is very critical, right, So then we can enable 30 minutes snapshots, but also we need to make sure that sysocs size is not getting full. Okay, sysocs table space will be growing when we increase the snapshot collections. So we need to maintain sysocs as well. Okay, so in this case, between these, from minute 1 till 30 minute, whatever activity that were happened will be, we can say, Oracle will take a snapshot, or we can say it's like clicking a picture or taking a video, right? So if we are just monitoring anything using a camera, right? So we can see whatever activity which is happening exactly as it was when the event was happening. Exactly, we can see as it happened. So during the historical time, right? So if I need to understand what happened yesterday, right? If I just install the camera, so if I just monitor a particular room, I just want to know if anything goes wrong, then I need to know what is happening, right? So if I see the camera for the previous day, I can easily identify what went wrong, right? So similarly, these snapshots are similar to a camera. Okay, so if there are any issues and if we want to identify the historical issue time, right? So directly we can go ahead and check that particular time of the issue and check if there are any significant any wait events or significant resource consumption, right? So if CPU utilization was high during the particular time, we can check the snaps. Okay, so AWR is specifically used for historical analysis. Okay, so historical analysis means, say for example, there are a lot of scenarios. So end user or customer is complaining that last Tuesday one job was running. Okay, one bad job was running. Okay, and last Tuesday it was working as expected, which means it is working within the time, expected time. Okay, so we should be knowing that the performance of Oracle database is totally time based. Okay, so we need to focus only on the time taken for any job to complete. Okay, we should not be focusing on any ratios, or we should not be focusing on the resource consumption. Okay, so if the job complete within the particular time, we don't bother if CPU was 50% utilized or 40% utilized. Okay, but still we need to investigate those usage, if it is normal or if it is expected, or if that is anything suspicious, right? And next Tuesday, the database was responding slow and this job was not executing within the particular timeline. Okay, so complaints will be like this. So real-time issues will be like this. So when you're working as a performance DBA, you will get these kind of situations. So how can we identify, or how can we solve this issue? So at this point of time, we need to generate an AWR report. So this is what called as historical analysis, right? So last Tuesday it was working fine, but this Tuesday it is running slow. So it is kind of a repeated, if you see, the operation is repeated, right? So every Tuesday this job run, okay, only on particular Tuesday it is running slow. Or another scenario may be, before 6 hours there was a slowness, and there was a sudden CPU usage. Okay, and also there were complaints from the end user saying that database was responding slow. So here also we can see that the incident was already completed, right? So we are just investigating the historical issue, right? So also it is kind of a whole issue. It is not that it is not intermittent, right? So these kind of scenarios, obviously we need to generate an AWR report. Also, if the response time of the database is high, right? So we should be monitoring the response time of the database. Okay, if there are multiple SQL statements executing, and if the SQLs are not getting the proper response time, then also we can generate an AWR report. Okay, so AWR report is always used for repeated operations. So like every week there is a job running, and job was running fine last week, but this week it is not running fine. These kind of issues. And before 6 hours, right, there was a huge CPU usage, and there was a slowness for, say for example, 10 minutes. So we can also generate an AWR report for this. Or if there is a sudden spike in CPU, or if there is high response time, or if the server load is very high due to some jobs running on the Oracle database. This is also one of the scenario. Okay, so these kind of scenarios can be diagnosed by AWR. So let us come to ASH. So when we use active session history, so sudden occurrence of slowness. Okay, so always remember that AWR is always time based. Okay, and ASH is always sample based, which means AWR will provide the reports specific to each and every operations in the form of time. So how much time each and every operations are either utilizing CPU, or either they are waiting on something. So these kind of reports will be provided by AWR. To be simple, how much time each and every operations are taking, that's it. So ASH report gives us this sample collection of every active sessions on the database, which means database will be having both active and inactive sessions. Okay, so in this case ASH report will not collect any report about the inactive sessions. Okay, there will be a lot of inactive sessions which will not be doing anything, but it will be connected to the database and it will be running. Okay, so these will be removed. Only whatever sessions which are active on the database, right, only those information will be collected. So session, what is a session? Session is the connection to the database. So if a particular user is connecting, right, I'm just using SQL plus /SS DBA, or any application user is connecting to the database, that is one session. And if that session is doing something, that will be some kind of a job or transaction, right? If I execute some select query or insert query, I'm doing some tasks on the database. So when I do some tasks on the database, all those information will be captured in the active session history. Okay, so when we generate this report, right, so since ASH is collecting samples, so when we identify issues related to intermittent slowness, right, say for example every 5th minute of a particular job there is a slowness or hang. So these kind of issues. So say for example, if a job is running for 60 minutes, okay, from 1st minute to 5th minute it is running fine. From 5th minute to 10th minute it is running slow. Again from 10th to 15th it is running fine. From 15 to 20 it is running slow. Something like this. Some intermittent issues or sudden slowness. Sudden slowness in the sense, so out of these 60 minutes, at the 35th minute, Okay, from 35th to 36th minute. Okay, duration of 1 minute, there is a sudden slowness. And after 36th minute, from 37th minute, it is running fine. So we need to identify what happened in this particular 1 minute. These kind of issues can be solved by active session history report. Okay, so active session history is also kind of a historical report. Okay, it also collects the immediate current information. Okay, so whatever happening currently, it will be immediately sampled. Okay, since Ash is collecting sample based report, we can get lot of samples within this 1 minute. Okay, but since AWR is kind of a cumulative report, we cannot get low level information or granular information. Granular means very low level. In-depth information cannot be recorded in the AWR report. So now let us come to ADDM report. Okay, so ADDM report is straightforward. It is just a recommendation. Okay, so what this ADDM will do, it will just collect the information from the AWR and it will just give some recommendations. So these are pre-built recommendations. Okay, so Oracle will be already having some pre-built causes, symptoms and solutions. Okay, so it will just use an algorithm, and automatically if it finds certain sections and if it finds certain information from the AWR, then automatically it will give some recommendation. Okay, but ADDM will not think beyond the or out of the box. It will not provide out of the box solution, which means if an issue is particularly a known issue, then ADDM will just give the generic recommendation. It will not give us the exact solution. Okay, so if the issue is very unique, then ADDM will not be able to give any recommendation. So ADDM is just a straightforward. And when we use ADDM, right, so we can just use ADDM as a supplement. Supplement in the sense, first we should diagnose the issue with AWR and ASH and just collect all the findings and write it down in any notepad, right? Then we just try to create a story or just connect the dots and just visualize the issue and just identify the cause and then write the solution. I mean the different causes and different solutions, right? So then we need to just take ADDM as a supplement to understand whether the analysis done by us is quite similar to whatever ADDM is recommending. Okay, so these are all the different tools which are used for diagnosis. So if you see, this is one of the examples. So batch slowness, high load, high response time. So if you see high load on the server and if the user is Oracle, so here it is root user. Okay, so if it is a root user, then this is not related to Oracle. This is non-Oracle process. But if it is Oracle, then we need to generate an AWR report and just diagnose the issue. Okay, so these are all the scenarios when we use AWR. And let us see Ash. So when the performance issue is sudden CPU spike, sudden hang, and it is back to normal. And also instant blocking sessions, session performance. So session level details, whatever active session level details we can get in ASH report. So these are all the sample sections as part of Ash. Okay, and also ADDM. So this is just an advisor tool, okay, which will provide generic recommendations, and we should not be primarily relying on this report. Okay, so this is an easy report. So when we generate the report directly, it will give some recommendation, but that recommendation may not be the right solution for our situation. Okay, it will give the exact related information, but it will just give the pre-recorded, or you can say pre-configured recommendations. So if you take ADDM, there will be a set of recommendations. So top SQL statements, unusual other wait event. So these are pre-configured. Okay, every time you will get these top SQL statements and unusual wait events and all these stuffs. Okay, so we should be analyzing on our own based on intuition, and also then further we need to cross check or verify the report for our confirmation. Okay, so thanks for watching this video, and if you like this video, you can give this video a like, and also if you need to have any questions, you can just mail this ID. Okay, and also you can in comment section, if you want to conduct any course on performance tuning related to Oracle, you are welcome. Okay, so you'll be learning a lot of internals, and also how to diagnose any performance issue in a very short time, right? So if you are really interested in learning performance tuning, and also if you are really I mean, if there are any fears, frustrations when the customers are chasing the engineers, right? So when DBA is involved in a particular call, troubleshooting call, so immediately there will be a lot of blames and a lot of pinpoints, right, saying that the issue is from the database and DBA need to act immediately. So in those kind of situations, you can easily face if you learn all the simplified ways of troubleshooting any issues. Okay, and also you will be learning how to what are all the limitations and boundaries of DBA. Okay, so as a performance tuning expert, I have decades of experience, and served almost 1,000+ customers in Oracle performance tuning, and I have faced every different kind of issues in every aspects. So I have multiple perspectives of troubleshooting any issue, and I also know where to check, when to check, and why to check a particular report. Okay, so again, thanks for watching this video.